I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
Hey everybody, welcome to Oops the Podcast. I am Giulio Gallerati. I'm joined with the multicolor socked Francis Ellis.
Sure am. Got some funky socks on, baby.
Those are some good socks, dude.
These are called Happy Socks, and I'm not plugging a brand. I'm not saying they're good or bad. I'm just saying what they are. And do you know the story behind Happy Socks?
I don't.
Because they've got stores around the place.
Let's hear it.
So they were started by these two Swedish brothers,
Mm-hmm.
or friends maybe. And the thing about Sweden is, and I think I've told you this before, you're never allowed to wear your shoes inside someone's house.
Right.
They are very adamant about that. That is against their culture. Doesn't matter if you're wearing high heels that you have to unstrap with 30 different straps, buckles, whatever. Everyone takes their shoes off. So these guys were always going to parties on the weekends at their friends' apartments or flats, as they call them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they realized that they couldn't express themselves with their footwear. So the only way that they could express themselves was through their socks.
That's great, dude.
And so they started making all these fun, funky socks.
Just being the coolest guy at the party with the socks. Nice socks.
Everyone started saying that to
Oh,
them. And then
thanks.
they realized they should start their own company. And now they got their own company. I like their socks.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah.
Who knew? I had no idea.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know
I
that.
had no idea there was some story behind
Yeah, I think I'm glad our audience knows that now. Have I ever told you about the time I went to Sweden and organized my own pregame?
You did, yeah.
Okay, then never mind.
No, that's okay.
I knew I had told that story.
No, dude, it's okay. It's funny. I sometimes will think about that. I'm like, have I told this already? Like,
Yeah.
It starts to become difficult.
It does.
But we've been.
Well, we've
Yeah.
been talking. We talk so much to each other.
So we got a couple good
in,
email
baby.
kind of situations. We've been getting some good messages, obviously. And we got a couple things here. This one is a funny story from one of our pals.
Good.
Who
Good.
Went on a date. Here we go. Hey guys, two-parter date fail for you. Met up for drinks with a cute girl I'd met at the bar a couple weeks prior. We ended up getting very drunk, and she took me back to her apartment to hook up. I got the worst case of whiskey dick of my life. She got offended and then kicked me out of her apartment at 2 a.m. because I couldn't get it up. Okay. Fast forward 2 years, and my friends from work set me up on a blind date. And when I show up, it's her. She wouldn't give me the time of day. It was extremely embarrassing having to explain to my friends why it didn't work out.
Wow.
And how on earth is she like mad at him still? Like, do we think she just didn't like him?
You know, it's such a sad thing where there's no female equivalent to whiskey dick. Do you know what I mean?
There really isn't.
You know, like some people will say, well, the vagina doesn't lubricate as well when you're really drunk, and I understand that, but you can fake it.
Right.
Guys can't. There's no faking it.
There's no supplement.
And and then
there's no KY jelly for your dick.
Yeah, there's this whole stigma that it's because you're not straight or something.
That's insane. Yeah.
People used to say that all the time, and they would hear one story about a guy who couldn't get it up, and then it's like, well, clearly he must not be into women. It's like there could be so many other factors as to why.
Many other factors.
So I sound like I'm defending myself.
It's all right, man.
No, I feel bad for this guy, but he should also just laugh it off. That's just plenty of other fish in the sea. If that girl's gonna be that offended, like, don't be offended. Laugh it off,
Right.
and then let him sleep over and try again in the morning.
There's a way to go into that. Yeah, dude, there's a way to get around that in that situation. How fucking funny is it to get set up on a blind date with somebody she kicked you out at 2 a.m. for not being able to get it up? That is hilarious.
It's very funny.
And dude, there's a way to make that date go well.
Absolutely. I think you just have to lean into it and own it. I mean, my God, I would have a field day with the jokes that I could make about myself.
No whiskey for me tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many ways to make that
By the
funny.
way, I fixed it. I've been working out a lot on my dick problem, you may recall.
Yeah, right? Like, why don't you go ahead and reach under the table
Yeah.
to see what I'm working with here?
By the way, I've done
hard.
some reconsidering over the last 2.5 years since I last saw you, and it turns out it was you actually, not the whiskey.
But dude, yeah, that girl was being tough, being a little hard on our pal.
Yeah,
You
must
know?
be nice that she's just got just a sea of rock hard automatic peni
everywhere
to wade through. Yeah,
dude. Okay, so somebody else asked us a question, and I thought that maybe this would be something we could go after.
yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, at some point in time, can you guys cover how to properly break up with your significant other?
Oh
She
God.
goes, I got dumped via Snapchat on Wednesday. I hate to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, you hate to see it. Look, here's what I would say. There is no proper way. There's no proper way. Okay? The proper way to break up with someone is the relationship doesn't work and you can't help yourself but get out of it anymore.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that will happen however it happens. And let me tell you something. Ladies, gentlemen, if you break up with someone who loves you in the most perfect timing, gentlest way possible, if you set her up with like a severance fund and bring her flowers and apologize to the family beforehand and bring all of your items from her apartment out of her house and make it the most seamless breakup possible, the level with which she will hate you or react poorly to it is not that much less, and it shouldn't be that much less than if you surprise her on her birthday with a fucking Snapchat message being like, by the way, we're through. It really, I hate to say it.
It's a good point.
But the protocol of breakup is such bullshit. Since like these rules of like the right way versus the wrong way,
Yeah.
breaking up is the wrong way.
Right.
You hope the relationship works out, and that's the right way. That's why we're dating in the first place.
Right. The act of the breakup is there's no way to make that a pleasant experience for the person being broken up with, no matter what.
Except that you are ruining someone's day, week, month, or even their year.
And they think you ruined their life at the time.
I'm
Until
not
they-
there for you anymore. We're through.
Until they realize, that their life isn't over. But at first, when you get broken up with, you think your life's over.
Yeah. By the way, they don't forgive you. They just get better. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
They're not gonna ever have the perspective of and say like, the way he did that, I shouldn't have taken it so poorly.
They might respect the way you did it, but they're not going to ever think they shouldn't have taken it poorly.
Dude, I've heard, through my girlfriend and her friends, I've heard a story about a guy who, they were dating for a long time and he broke up with the girl and it was kind of out of the blue. And I thought he did it in a pretty fair way, fair, considerate way. I really did. And they still, of course, have their problems with it. They still say like, well, this was wrong. He should have done this better. And it's like, since when is a breakup expected to go smoothly?
I know.
There's nothing you can predict. There's nothing you can account for.
Right.
Because I guarantee you, if you love each other or you did love each other, whoever's breaking up with the other person, or whoever is being broken up with, is going to fight back, is going to ask, why are you doing this? I don't buy your reasoning. They're not going to let you off the hook that easily, which means you're going to have to become more and more of an asshole. How many times can you say, I just don't feel that way anymore, or like, I don't want to date anymore, where they're like, that's not good enough.
Right.
Before finally you have to be like, all right, you know what? Fuck you.
Sorry.
I'm leaving.
I'm blocking your number.
Clearly you don't understand this. And then they're like, I can't believe the way he broke up with me or she broke up with me. And it's like, well, what choice did you give them?
Right. Dude, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I broke up with a
It
girl.
comes down to that
Dude,
sometimes.
I broke up with a girl that I didn't date for very long. And I broke up with this girl, and I broke up with her like a week before her birthday. And I thought I was pretty clear about it. And we didn't talk for like 5 days. And then on her birthday.
After you had broken up with her?
Yeah. We didn't speak.
Right.
And then on her birthday, I texted her, happy birthday. Hope you're doing well. That's it. Because I felt like I had to.
It's fair.
And then she called me and she was like, so what's going on with us? And I was like, oh, what?
Sorry.
She
On
was
her
like, you
birthday?
just left me kind of in the lurch. We haven't spoken. And I was like, oh, well, I sort of stand by what I said. And she was like, are you really dumping me on my birthday? And I was like, no, I dumped you 5 days ago. I promise. I have it on my
transcripts.
calendar. Like, I don't, what? And then I was the guy who had dumped her on her birthday. That's the song she sang
Right.
to everyone we knew. And
And
it's
there's
like,
no way
well,
to
it's
get
not
out of
my
that.
fault. It took 5 days 5 business days for the message to take hold.
All right. Well, dude, this is all like really, really good discussion points that you're making. But I wonder, is there some way, and maybe this is something we can think of if we think that there's a way to do it, but the way that like, have you ever been in the hospital and somebody that you're there for is going to pass away? And the doctor doesn't just come out and tell you right away they're going to die. They know that there's a process where like, they're not going to they don't necessarily tell you everything right away.
Yeah.
So they ease you into the process of dealing with what's going to happen. And like, there's a process there because of how difficult that is. I'm wondering if there's a way to implement some sort of process in a relationship. And here's some ideas that I have. So first of all, I don't think that means that you should be distant or whatever. I think there's a way to get on top of it, but I think that proposing some kind of break is a really good first step. It can be better than like the clean thing. Cause maybe you're not even sure yet. And by proposing this break, you're like, all right, let's not talk for like 2 weeks. I need to da-da-da. And then maybe there you can give them the fucking punch of the breakup. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think about that? You think it's better just get it over with? Or
I feel like that's like the equivalent to if you're putting a dog down instead of giving them the shot. It's like dosing them over the course of 2 weeks with a gentle thing.
yeah, but
that
bro, the
eventually
dog's gonna
stops
die
their
though,
heart.
bro. The dog's gonna die. That's the
And if
difference.
you know that, you should do it in the most humane way possible.
Right, but this person isn't gonna die who you're dating.
Well, their heart might die for
Their
a
heart
minute.
might, right, that's true. But if you just like straight up, like, because dude, like when you're no longer in love with a person, it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't care about them still.
Correct.
Or you don't, you know what I mean? Like it might not be like you fucking hate their guts and like that's an easier breakup. It's a much harder breakup for someone you care about. You have nicknames for them. You know their parents. Like that's so hard.
Yeah.
And like, especially if the other person is like fully invested still and to them, like they're not going to see it coming. Like, how do you even do that?
Dude,
Do you know what I mean?
it's a great question. It's a great question. Are you supposed to ease them into it? Are you supposed to let them see warning signs so that somehow they're prepared?
Right, but
then,
isn't that
then they're
cruel
living
too?
in hell and
Right.
uncertainty.
And they
for,
feel it, and you're like, nothing's wrong, and they're like, yes, it is. It's not the same.
Look,
like,
let's put it this way: we get it. We understand how hard it is to initiate a breakup. It's the worst thing in the world.
it's terrible.
Would
yeah.
you rather break up with someone or be broken up
I'd
with?
rather be broken up with, even though it's horrible. But breaking up with somebody is so horrible too.
It's a different feeling of
It's
bad.
it's a different feeling of bad.
It's a different feeling of bad. One is a feeling of I'm the worst person on earth. I'm a horrible person for doing this to this poor girl.
Dude, totally.
The other is I'm the worst person on earth because I'm worthless.
That's a bad feeling too.
They didn't like me.
That's a motivating feeling for me though. Like I've come up with some of my best shit, both like as far as my fitness is concerned and my creative output when I'm like feeling like I'm not good enough.
Well, that's a good thing to say, though. I think that people who get dumped should say, I want to do whatever I can to ensure that this never happens again. I never want to give anyone I hate to say the reason because then it makes it seem like it's your fault. But
Which it is not.
It's not. But like, let's put it this way. put yourself in a position to date better than the person who just dumped you.
Right. Well, and even that might not be the right reason, but I think that it can start as that reason, and then you'll get over that reason because that
you'll
reason's
just
wrong.
feel better.
Right.
You start taking action.
Do
again.
things to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like, dude, yeah, like it's such a like. Remember that 98 Degrees song? It's the hardest thing I've ever to look you in the eyes and tell you I don't love you. That's true. That's
Nightmare.
Fucking
Nightmare. Dude, listen, dating podcasts, all this, everyone's talked about this. The thing that nobody said though, I think, is that it's just, there's no fucking answer.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no answer. You just have to dive in and cover your face because you're probably going to get punched.
Yeah.
You're going to get hit with some bows, some tears, some horrible, insulting things. And you gotta just at some point walk outside and walk down the street and walk away and don't turn back and let it marinate. And then go see a buddy who can keep your phone away from you and have, you know, a lot of drinks or something. That's what you gotta do. You know, it's funny. People call me all the time when they get broken up with.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's because they just know that
No,
I'll always have a reference for what it feels like to be at rock bottom or what.
I know, definitely not. That's hilarious.
They're like, you're not doing great, right? Let's commiserate. Let's talk together about it.
You have like a pragmatic quality about you where that like you can talk someone through the logic of why they made the right decision.
Well,
why.
I can lay out a game plan for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sense of like, this is what I would prescribe for you. And a kid I used to tutor called me. He, very close to. He'd gone through a really tough breakup, and I spoke to him, and I was like, "All right, dude, you need to go and you need to get with a buddy, and you need to have a night where you drink a ton of whiskey, and you just need to the two of you, like no phones, no distractions, just like get drunk and say stuff to each other that you wouldn't normally say." So you can like cry in front of him and it's not weird, and you can like pour your heart out and just sort of cleanse a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of the healing process.
And it's nice to have the friend that you can do that with who isn't then going to like turn around and like tell everybody else that you were being like a pussy.
Yes, but
a friend
dudes need with a bottle of Jack Daniels for that. A lot of them.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
To sort of source to the bottom, the grainy sediment of who we are.
Right.
Get to the bottom of the bottle.
So to speak.
And then only then can you start filling it up again.
Right.
The stuff of life.
It's profound.
I don't know.
Dude, what if, I don't know how you feel about the last few months, but like, I kind of like to talk about that for a second. Like, I feel like my life is normal again in the sense of like work to a degree. I know we can't like perform, but like I treat my day like, or at least perform in the same capacity, but I treat my day the way that I used to again. I'm on a work schedule again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at my computer for a large percentage of the day again. But I feel despite that, the other stuff that came with that were like the fun part is not there, which is such a weird thing.
What is the fun part?
Going out, going to bars, hanging with your friends, getting in big groups. Like I saw someone tweet this the other day. They were like, I miss my friends.
Oh, that's not bad.
I miss acquaintances. And I was like, that's so true. Like I miss all that. That was so great. Now, like, sure, you can go to dinner, but like, whatever. Besides that, there's just like not that much shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been kind of weird, man. And I've just been like getting into some bad habits again.
Ooh.
I've been smoking a lot. I've been
Cigarettes?
No. Smoking weed.
Uh-huh.
It's
fine.
Which
It's
is
good for you.
fine, but like it's weird and like I can't tell if I'm tired the next day or not. I think I've been doing it so regularly that I'm actually like over that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no longer side effects, I guess. And I've just been drinking, dude. Like
yeah, I've been drinking.
But I feel like fucking Michael Douglas though. I feel like drinking in a way where I'm like, I just have one drink a night to take the edge off.
That's pretty good, Michael Douglas.
Thank you.
I never heard you do that. I didn't know you had that.
It's unclear if I have.
It's fun.
But dude, it's true.
It's like
I'm
finding out someone's got CPR certification.
Stand back.
Whoa. That's pretty. I'm glad we have you around to do Michael Douglas.
But dude, yeah, I'll just be sitting like drinking one drink, fucking in the classic glass. Like, I don't know.
Here's the thing. Your problem is that you're a man about drinking.
Explain.
Certain men can put away liquor the way that I drink beer. Like the taste is not a deterrent to you.
Correct. Is it a deterrent to you?
I can't drink tequila. I can only drink a margarita. I need lime and sugar in order to stomach tequila.
Dude, you sound like my girlfriend, man. This is what she says.
You drink the taste to you of a glass of tequila is not any more offensive than a beer or a glass of wine. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't mind the taste, even of straight liquor. I'm like,
What
something else.
I don't know how you get there because dude, I take a shot of tequila, I almost have to hold my mouth closed.
All
I'm not
right.
quite the guy who holds his nose to do it, but I'm not that far off. I grimace.
You're soft, bro. You're soft.
I am. And I know I'm in trouble on a night of drinking when I take a shot of tequila
And
and
you
I
don't.
don't grimace.
You said that.
Then
Dude,
I'm
it's
like,
true, yeah.
oh shit.
I'm in trouble. Yeah.
I'm in the no-fly zone.
But dude,
right now.
that's like me when I'm drinking warm tequila with lime shards and no
Yeah.
ice left.
When Giulio says, "What do you got?" he means I'm open to anything.
Well, okay, that's interesting, but I don't like. Here's my list. So I prefer tequila.
Yeah.
If tequila is available, especially I don't know what the fuck it's called, but that like fancy white and blue bottle. You know what
Oh,
I'm talking?
Cruz Azul?
Yeah,
No.
Casa Azul.
Casa Azul. Fuck.
Azul, something like that.
Yeah, I know the really expensive one.
Not the añejo. That's like one of them's like
No, the one
$600.
that's in that ceramic bottle.
but
Dude,
the-
that thing's like
that one.
so,
Yeah,
that's
What's-
so
what's it
much
called?
money.
No, the dude. So the Blanco is only like $100, which is still a lot.
Is that
but-
right? I always thought those were
Something
like
Azul.
$200.
Clase Azul. I'm gonna butcher all
We're
this.
close. No, that's right. That's it.
Yeah,
So
130
reposado.
it says.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but the añejo is like $600.
How much is the mezcal?
I don't know. They make mezcal, do they?
They make a black bottle of mezcal.
Jesus
My
Christ.
friend brought it over. We had a poker night this past weekend.
Christ.
Did I tell you about this?
No.
We had poker night on Saturday.
It's fun.
Me and 7 friends. It was the most fucked up I've been since college. What is the matter with me, dude?
Dude, you've been on like
Dude,
a bender.
There was a part of me. There was a point. Yeah.
How much does that puppy cost?
The mezcal we had. It had
Poppycock.
It had beads on the top.
That's
It looked
even
like a
fancy
nice
one.
belt that you'd buy at a Native American trading store. You know those kind of like dream catchery type
Yes, I
things.
do. How much is that puppy?
Yeah, that. Find out how much that one runs. Because my buddy bought. He drizzlied that.
250.
Okay. Yeah,
Damn.
that's an expensive bottle, and we went through it quick.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
But so this is my list. Tequila's number 1, vodka number 2. And then from there, I don't really like brown liquor, but like whiskey will be next. And then below that, I don't like gin. I don't really like cognac.
Why don't we like gin?
For me, it's because that was the first alcohol that made me vomit.
Okay.
And I remember it so well. I got so sick, and the whole day I was throwing up, and I was at my friend's house. His entire family was home, and it was pouring rain, and I was running to the street to vomit.
Been there before.
And I've never liked gin since.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Does anyone like gin?
I don't know, and yet it's sold everywhere. I think it's one of those things probably where gin and tonics are so popular that it carries an entire liquor. Meaning, in
Interesting.
the same way that that Red Bull, like such a huge percentage of their sales
Vodka Red Bull.
went into like Red Bull vodkas
Right.
and being sold at bars
Right.
as a liquor drink. But you think of Red Bull, you think of Travis Pastrana and you think of Tony Hawk and
Right.
the X
You think
Games
of
and like
risk-taking.
you think of people who are sober. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's interesting.
You
Yeah,
think of
yeah, yeah.
athletes and like their branding and their
Interesting.
marketing. You don't think of like some douchebag in England at some underground nightclub ordering double. Dude, when I was in Oxford, we used to order double vodka energy. Because like Red Bull, they had Red Bull in the cans, but then
Okay.
they also had just
The
on
gun,
tap
yeah, yeah,
energy
yeah. The
drink,
shitty energy
which
drink.
was like it was so
sucks.
much cheaper.
It's so gross.
And it
too.
was, dude, you'd wake up, I'd have like 7 or 8 double vodka energies in a night, and you'd wake up and you'd be shaking. And the shakes were big.
Oh god.
They were like, you'd be like, as if electrical current was your heart. Oh my God, the
I know.
worst.
It's like not an ideal situation.
Yeah. So, okay. I said your problem is that you're a man. You're one of those guys. You're the guy at the Christmas party as an adult, the father in the sweater who orders a scotch neat and sips it and has no change of expression.
Correct. But and part of that is because, I know that I haven't been talking about this, but I'm still sort of like I'm still trying to like improve my body. Binge drinking is a huge setback for me. I'm not sure if it is for everybody, but like if I have a night where I drink a shit ton, it like erases all my progress. And maybe it's because but like if I have a drink or two, it doesn't.
All right, but hold on. Is it that you binge drink and then you let your guard down and go order pizza? Or you wake up hungover the next day and then eat terrible food?
It's a combination of, when I drink, I don't eat anything. But then the next day is the day where I eat poorly. But not only do I eat poorly, even if I don't eat poorly, I just eat way too much. And it resets my appetite in a way that's really hard to come back from.
Yeah.
Like I'll eat really, like right now I'm in a place where like I'm happy with like my portion control and stuff. If I had like an 8-drink night, the next day I would eat way too much. And then it would take me 2 months to get back to where I am.
Okay, so I've been feeling that I've been drinking more than I typically do, and I get worried, and then everyone laughs at me because everyone's like, "Dude, I drink way more than you do."
That
You're
sentence is so funny. I get worried, and then everyone laughs at me.
They do. They laugh in a condescending way.
Yeah,
they laugh in a condescending way. And
what are you worried about?
I'm worried. I'm terrified of alcoholism.
Oh,
I'm terrified of it.
Do you ever feel like there's a chance that you suffer from it?
I think having it in my mind and not feeling invincible and not thinking that I'm someone who's just totally impervious to the addictive qualities of alcohol is irresponsible. Mm-hmm. Everyone should think that if they could become an alcoholic. Right. No one should say like, I'm safe. I'm 40. I've never had a problem. I'm safe. You haven't made it. You could, I feel like everybody could turn themselves into an alcoholic.
Right.
That's how I feel. You string together enough days. Dude, drinking's great.
It's a great time.
It's so fun. Every Saturday poker, like it was so fun.
Was it daytime poker?
Oh yeah, we started at 3:00.
Great.
I don't know when we ended.
It's fine.
My buddy ordered Chinese food, and then someone else ordered like Thai food, and then the same buddy, the first buddy, ordered another round of Chinese food, and he was blacked out. His autopilot was just telling him we needed more Chinese food. What a great friend to have flying the plane.
That's great. We already ordered Chinese food, but there wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just thought like, he couldn't see anymore. Because we cleaned it up. So he was like, we're out of and he didn't know if we'd already had it or not.
All right. Dude, that's great. That's really funny.
Dude, people were falling apart, man.
He forgot.
I think he just had no idea. All he could think about was, I'm really drunk, and when I'm this way, I love to order Chinese food for people. And it didn't matter. One new person had arrived at the party. A couple people had left. I say party. It was only 7 of us. And he just thought that new person deserved a taste. And if he was going to order it for him, he might as well order another round for people.
That's great. Are you a card guy? Do you have like poker chips here and stuff?
So I was so excited. And you know me, I like to host.
Your friend's a great host.
But I like to host the right way.
Right.
So I went out that day and hunted for a poker table.
Oh, wow.
And I went to this place first of all, I went to like 5 different places. I went to look for chips in the
That's probably easier to find, right? In the briefcase?
Hard to find.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were both hard to find.
Interesting.
I thought I could find the chips easily. I went to Paragon Sports. I went to Barnes & Noble.
Nothing.
I went to toy stores that sell board games for like adults and stuff. Skunked.
Dude,
no luck.
The days of brick and mortar day of purchases are just done. You can get anything online. You can't get anything in person.
Yeah, but dude, it's like shame on them. You know, it shouldn't be that hard for me to find poker chips in New York City.
Agreed.
So I finally tracked him down at this place that sells pool tables, dart boards, foosball tables, that shuffleboard.
Like for businesses or just in general?
No, for homes.
That's crazy.
For big homes.
Cool.
And it was up on 38th Street. I went in. This store was awesome.
Sick.
Guy was great. They had all kinds of poker chips, different weights, really nice clay.
Love
So I
it.
bought like the cheaper set, but that was
Stacking
still
them.
good. Yeah. And then I bought the poker. I was like, this store is cool. I want to walk around. And that's when I spotted the poker table topper. So you put it on on a table, but it has cup holders. It has felt
Great.
and a cushioned bumper, that you rest your arms on. Dude, the guys walked in. Everyone was, it took the excitement from a 7 to a 10.
Totally.
Because we felt like we were at a casino.
Yeah, it's fun. That's
and
really
it was
fun.
awesome.
That's great. Now the question is, did you win back the amount of money that you had to spend buying all the shit?
No, but everyone chipped in. Everyone brought something. So
they gave a little rake to the dealer, a chip to the dealer.
it was more like okay, I contributed the chips and the poker
Right.
table. But first of all, I know that I like hosting, and I'll presumably have more poker nights with my friends. We've talked about this. And then the second thing is one guy brought a $250 bottle of mezcal for everyone to share. Another guy brought, beers, really good beers, Maine Beer Company beers, for everyone. And then, some guys brought weed, and there was like our group. There's no freeloaders in my friend group, and it's nice.
That's good.
But then people kept track of how much people had lost. I think I lost $9 in terms of the gambling,
It's not
which
bad.
was nice. Yeah, it was
Not
good.
bad.
It was good. Especially given how fucked up I was. But here, look, my advice to you, if I can offer it,
Please.
as a drinking guard, is if you're thinking you're drinking a lot, I try to take 2, if not 3, full days a week where I do not have a touch of alcohol.
Right.
At least 2.
Right.
And it's usually Sunday, Monday. And I try to go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
And then do you typically drink on Wednesday?
On Wednesday, I'll have a glass of wine.
Okay.
I'll have like 1 glass.
Because my thing is I'm pretty good about not lately. The reason why I brought it up is because it's unusual for me to have a drink every night. I've been craving one if I didn't have one. Like last night I had one, night before I had 2. But usually it's the type of thing where I have one night where I go crazy and then I don't drink at all.
That used to be me too.
But that seems less healthy to me than having a couple drinks.
It does. The more adult way to drink is 6 nights a week, 1 glass a night.
Right.
But
and they say
you,
that's good for you.
Fine. But are you really having just 1? Because
Right.
1 becomes 1.5 to 2
Right.
very quickly.
I can stop at 2. I can have 2. I can do that.
Are you drinking? What are you drinking when you have
Liquor.
those 2? You have 2 liquor drinks?
Yes, I can do that. I'll have 2 and drink them slowly and be fine. But there's a certain mindset where I can't do that. If it's Friday, back in the day when we had comedy, if I started drinking at 7 and then I had spots all night, I'd be drinking all night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's I can have 2 drinks and have that be the night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not like a guy who can't stop. But of course, if I'm having 3 and 7 is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude.
Once I hit 3, it's done. It's over.
I hear you. One of the problems is I watch my girlfriend who is, in a work from home situation for her big company, and they have a team happy hour. It seems 3 days a week.
It's pretty wild.
And those start at 4:30, 5. And they're set up by the managers. Everyone's given a $25 Drizzly credit, or they run out to the store with a credit to buy a bottle of wine or something.
Totally.
And they have these fun games, and it's like team building activities. And there's no choice. What choice do you have?
I know.
What choice do you have to not drink?
To
You have
not
a choice to not
participate. No,
drink.
totally. And I think that that's a very New York thing. I mean, it maybe is the same in other places too, but it seems like New York's just a drinking town, dude.
It is.
You
Yeah.
go out, you have happy hours with your friends, you work. It's just there's such a high concentration of people who regularly drink a shit ton
Mm-hmm.
and have good lives still.
Yeah.
Who are working and ambitious and don't have that much time because they're working so much. They're still drinking a lot somehow.
Maybe it's all over. I mean, maybe it's all overblown. Look, because you go to fucking Australia, dude.
They drink a shit ton.
They drink
have you
a
been
shit
there?
ton. Yeah.
I've never been there.
I've been to Sydney and
Fucker.
some other spots. They drink a ton. They drink a ton. And it's the same deal. It's a cosmopolitan city.
Yeah.
They blame it on
UK
that.
too.
Dude,
They drink a
England,
shit ton.
Britain, Ireland.
drink all day.
Everyone knows Ireland drinks. I didn't find that people in Australia drank any less than the Irish.
Mhm.
Okay? I don't find the Koreans, business people in Japan.
Right. They literally
Do you know how
pass
much
out in the middle of the
China?
street.
I went to China. Do you know how much they fucking drink there?
Really? A lot?
Guy was making fun of me because I couldn't chug a 40 of Bud Heavy. He's like, this bitch. And he was just some guy who delivered water tanks, like Poland Spring jugs on
Have
a
you been
bike.
to Korea too?
No, I haven't. But my dad used to go over there for business, and he would tell me that, they would go out to these steakhouses, and it would just be
Go
like
nuts.
12 whiskey sodas
Oh my god.
that he'd be expecting. He just didn't drink that way.
Right.
So you realize every culture drinks a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and that these sort of guidelines that are put forth by our doctors, the shock that they have when you tell them that you've got nights under your belt where you've had 15 drinks, and it's like, who's wrong?
Mm.
Of course science is going to tell us that that's not right. We know that that's not right. And
Mhm.
yet the human race has been expanding its life expectancy decade over decade over decade, thanks in large part to medicine more than healthier living and not drinking as much.
Right.
Medieval knights were drinking grog and shit,
Right, right.
in the taverns.
Yeah.
Is there any reason that we have to believe that back in the Middle Ages, those guys were like counting their beverages and mixing in waters?
Right.
Being like, I got a lot of homework tomorrow. Yeah, I got to get up for yoga and I don't want to be, hungover. No. Are you kidding?
Those guys are gross, man, according to the portrayal. Like,
For
there's
sure.
always that scene in the, like, where they all have whatever grog, where there's like a bowl of water that everyone passes around and they like blow their nose in it,
Ugh.
but also wash their face with it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Rah, da, 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 fucking crusades, whatever.
Giulio, if you're worried about how much you're drinking these days, I can give you a routine that would help you get out of it a little bit. Okay, so the first thing is, don't drink on Mondays,
Okay.
right? On Tuesday, instead of reaching for a glass of tequila, reach for your Bird Dogs pants. You gotta reach for your Bird Dogs pants, baby. Those are the pants that'll kick anybody's alcohol addiction. I don't know if we can say that. That seems like false advertising.
Here's the problem with that for me.
Okay.
And it is this. The Bird Dogs pants are so comfortable. I'm afraid that I will get involved in some kind of week-long bender,
Yeah.
including both drugs and alcohol, where I do not need to change my pants.
Fine.
I can pass out in them. I can wake up in the street or in the garbage, or wherever I'm going to wake up with them still on, and be
Yeah.
able to go about my day.
Well,
they will allow me to continue to execute my bad habit.
Yes. As far as pants to be worn when sleeping amid tuna fish cans and Coke bottles, Bird Dogs is always the number one choice.
It's just the choice.
But it can go both ways, friendo. Okay, your pants will be so comfortable that you'll go on your bender and you won't want to get out of it. But at the same time, the pants are so comfortable and the underwear liner is so nice that you won't feel the need to reach for that drink.
That might be true.
You really won't.
I can supplement the feeling of needing to do something instead of needing to drink, with the feeling of needing to relax.
Yeah.
And the cool silk lining that will keep me cool despite how many drinks I've had.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe this is a tough one.
It is.
Bird
It is.
dogs, drinking, they seem to go hand in hand to me.
Yes.
But I do like the idea. I like where you're coming
Look,
from.
if you're worried about what goes hand in hand, why don't you put a nunchuck in each hand? Because nunchucks are going to come with your first order of Bird Dogs when you go to birddogs.com, promo code OOPS right now. You'll get a free pair of nunchucks with that purchase, baby.
It's true. And when you've drank a little bit too much and you're at the bar when things resume and some guy bumps you the wrong way and you're drunk and you need to fight, pull those fucking nunchucks out of your back pocket and take him down.
That's right. Use the chain that connects them to choke him to death. That's the correct way to
Kill the
use
guy at the bar with the bird dogs.
nunchucks.
Period.
Birddogs.com, promo code OOPS. Get them while they're available. I read that there is a myth that I'd heard that was dispelled, which was that the quality of the water in the Middle Ages was so bad that people would drink wine instead.
That was not true.
It's not true. It's not true. Had you heard that? I had heard that. Many people had told me that fact. That was one of those facts that people seized upon.
Dude, like Snapple facts or whatever.
It was just
like
wrong.
not true.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That is such a thing. You just hear something always, and then you're just not sure if it's actually true.
Here's another one. What do you think is the most highly eaten animal meat in the world?
Fuck. This is gonna be like, once you say it, it's gonna be obvious. The most eaten animal meat in the world.
Yeah.
Chicken.
So that's a good answer.
Yeah.
It's not number one. Pork
Of course.
is number one.
Of course.
And it's because of the Asian
Right.
countries.
Yes, makes sense.
Pork is number one. Now, I had read somewhere that goat was actually the number one meat.
And that's not true.
Well, believe it or not, I read this in an article and I was like, that's crazy. Really? Goat? There are that many goats? Where? You think of maybe the Middle East, or you think of the Southeast
goats.
Asia. I don't know where it would be. Are there enough people in those places to be making that number the highest? And then I got into an argument over it with a friend of mine who's very smart. And he was like, dude, there's no chance it's goat. It has to be pork or chicken.
Mhm.
And we looked it up. And I actually found the article I had read that cited that goat was the most eaten meat. And then it was like, editor's note.
This
a
is
former
wrong.
version of this article had a missed thing. It's saying goat. That's not true. It's like, yo, that was the whole point of the article. I've lived with that fact. I've told people this.
There's no editor's
for
note.
a couple
you have
of
to take
years.
the story down.
Yeah, like I understand when the New York Times has a date or a time wrong, or maybe a first name of a
Right.
cop incorrect.
Right.
It's like,
But the whole article is wrong. That's funny, dude. Pork does make sense.
I have the list here. It's,
Yeah.
Pork 36%, poultry 33%, beef 24%, and goats/sheep is 5%.
yeah, it's not even close.
sense.
It's
I
not
figured
even
it
fucking
wouldn't be
close.
beef since so many cultures like don't eat that.
Right.
But pork was the obvious answer. I'm upset that I got it wrong, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Dude,
Um,
I've been playing video games. And
Have you?
yeah, this is another thing that I don't usually do that much, but I've been playing FIFA and I've been playing NBA 2K. And dude, it's funny because have you ever played video games with your friend and they start blaming the player in the game? You're like, how'd you miss? Like they took the worst shot, and then they're like, he would never miss that shot. What the fuck's he doing out there? It's you, dude. You're controlling him. You're a moron. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, video games used to make me just so angry. I had to step away from them. I would throw controllers. I would punch my friends. And I had friends who couldn't handle that. It wasn't we were not a rough. This was middle school. It was not the type of group of friends who could, you could punch in the shoulder playfully. They would get upset.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Video game, my point is, I've just been filling my time with shit that I don't normally spend time doing.
All right. So let me offer you something.
Sure.
You can drink as much as you want, but you gotta exercise more.
I exercise a lot.
Okay. This is what I said to myself.
Okay.
I can't go 2 days in a row without exercising under no circumstances.
Mhm.
So it's fine if I take a day off.
Mhm.
The next day I have to exercise.
Mhm.
Now, when you say you exercise a ton, what are you doing? What are you talking about?
Okay. So as of the last couple weeks, since I've been, say, whatever routine that I'm in, I've been exercising probably 5 days a week.
Okay.
And
How many of those days are you soaking a shirt to the fucking
three
bone?
of them.
Really?
Mhm.
That's pretty good, man.
It's pretty, I know. And it's just because there's time. The gyms, I've been going back to the gym. It's not crowded. It's easier. It's not as daunting. It doesn't feel as daunting of an activity either.
I've been going to the gym, but I don't
nice.
soak shirts to the bone at the gym. The only time I soak shirts is on the Peloton. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been doing these these workout classes. I think I mentioned, and they're pretty fucking good. They're just embarrassing, and like there's no way for me to do them where like I'm not seeing people, so I'm like embarrassed to do them.
Yeah.
Although there's like dancing and shit involved. It's like really cringe.
You're gonna lose weight. You're gonna get trimmed. You're gonna trim
I know.
up.
It's gonna be good, and it's about just momentum. You know what I mean? Like I'd love to be like in my good form once I have to start seeing everybody in my life again.
When
you know what I mean? That's just kind of the goal.
When you decide to get married and you're heading into your wedding, do you see yourself losing a lot of weight for it?
Probably. I don't think I'm gonna need to. Like we'll see where I'm at in my life. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Knock on wood. I hopefully will never be in a situation where I like need to lose more than 20 pounds.
I have a friend who lost a shitload of weight for his wedding, and it was so much weight that unfortunately now, and we're only, I don't know, we're less than a year out of it, he's put a bunch of it back on, and it's almost as if everyone remembers him from the wedding, and then they just against that.
I know.
Like the wedding is such an immortalized moment in time. There's so many photos from it, and everyone remembers you from your wedding because you're the highlight attraction. That's my image of him.
Right.
Dancing up there, looking slim as hell in his tux.
He put himself in a tough spot with that.
He's ripped up with his abs. He's looking good in a bathing suit. And then now I see him, and unfortunately I'm like, well, why aren't you the way that you were? Why this new look? And like you start to realize, well, the wedding's an unnatural occurrence to the body.
Right.
Everyone shocks themselves into it.
For the not to like, perpetuate stereotypes, but usually for like the woman. That's like a bride is like, I'm going to get in shape for my wedding.
Yeah.
I don't hear it from men as often.
Well, I will say this. The bride, I think she definitely lost some weight, but she's kept it off. So she looks fantastic. Now she never really, she always looked fantastic, but she her wedding weight, she's kind of still there.
Yeah.
And they did it together. They got down together. And then he had ballooned.
So the problem, and I'm a big weight fluctuator. Like I've, as an adult, have been within like a 60-pound span.
Mm-hmm.
The lightest of it being too skinny. I look back at pictures of myself. I'm like,
yes, I've seen those, and it's daunting.
I look
so
weird.
Strange.
I thought that I was like, I needed to lose more weight. It was like, it kind of got to the point where maybe it was a problem.
You sound like you have body dysmorphia, and I've never really understood what that is.
It's possible. I definitely have at times, and you only really know when you look back and you're like, whoa, I thought I looked this way, but I looked great or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, so right now I'm like at my pre-pandemic weight again, but to be at like my best weight, I still have to probably take off another 10 or 15.
Right.
To be where I now think that I know I look the best. All right. Based on all that experience.
Let me ask you this. When you think about your day, a day in the life of Giulio, what are the things that automatically have to happen in order for you to close the book on that day and say, yeah, that was a full regular day in my life? Let's start with as small as brushing your teeth and having 3 meals. Like you don't have to list it specifically.
This is maybe my problem is that I don't like, I'm having trouble answering that because like, I'm not like a routine person. Now granted, like if I can get in like a fitness routine where I'm like, okay, I'm going to work out this much and I'll do it, but it won't be at the same time of the day. It won't be like, I'm going to wake up and work out. If I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I'm not feeling it, I'll just do it at night. But I won't skip it.
Fine.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Is that not answering the question?
No, that's fine. But you say you're not a routine person. I'm not even. There are basic moments in a day that
I will
happen
definitely do.
regardless of if you're living on the moon or if you're fucking hungover out of your gourd.
Okay.
So what are those things to you?
Okay. I check the stock market in the morning.
Okay.
I'll probably drink a coffee.
Yep.
I will bathe.
Yeah.
I'll take a shower.
Yeah.
And maybe, no, not even that. Like I think that's like it, dude. Walk around. I don't like what else.
How many meals? What's the minimum number of meals that you'll have in a day? Are there days where you only have one meal?
No, never. But there are days where I'll have one meal and then I'll like snack a bunch. And then, or like a day where I'll skip breakfast and I'll have lunch and dinner and that's it. Like, but I'm not in that good of a routine with that stuff either.
Okay. So I know I'm weird. I'm a little cyborg.
So, okay. So what about you?
Well, you said something interesting, which was that you have a meal and then you snack a bunch. For me, I don't eat necessarily because I'm hungry. I eat because it's time.
And I've never really, when I used to take Adderall, I understood that. And it actually feeling that way was the most liberating feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. That I wasn't just like up against food at all times. It was more like, oh yeah, like I need to eat. I wasn't like, oh, I really want to eat. I was just like, oh, yep, time to eat.
Yeah. Now, I'll have hunger going into those times, but I'll also look at the clock and realize, oh, it's not quite time for me to eat. I didn't eat that long ago.
Right.
And then I don't feel hungry.
That's incredible. I can't, dude. I've said it before. I can't even walk from the store to my house to eat. I will eat in this middle of the street. Which I was thinking the other day, things that I'll miss if I become famous is the ability to be able to eat in the middle of the street.
You can still eat in the middle of
You
the street.
can't be famous. And
People will like you more for doing it.
There'd be so many pictures of.
You'll be the Seth Rogen eats in the middle of the street. You'll be that guy. It's fine. Ryan Reynolds doesn't eat in the middle of the street. Hugh Jackman doesn't eat in the middle of the street. George Clooney doesn't, but Seth Rogen does.
But you just listed three
Justin
he's
Timberlake
the goofy
eats,
one.
Justin Timberlake eats in the middle of the street.
He does?
I bet you.
He might.
I bet you he has a crepe every once in a while.
I would imagine
There
if we
are
find
more
out
crepe places than you'd think. Crepes are more available than you'd think.
Justin Timberlake eating a crepe in the street.
Yeah, by the way,
exists.
if any American out there right now is thinking it's crepe, you're fucking wrong. It's crepe. There's a circumflex over the E. Okay, that's how it works. Crepe.
Over the first E?
Yes.
Crepe. That makes
Little
sense.
hat.
Yeah. Chris, what are you thinking over here?
My day, I wake up, I take a shower, I eat my oatmeal with a banana cut over it. Then I wait, I work or whatever, and then I wait until at least 11:30. And then I make myself a salad.
Do you eat oatmeal every single day?
Yeah.
Every single day of your life you eat oatmeal?
Well, it's either overnight oats or oatmeal.
And that's it?
There's some kind of oat situation
Always,
happening.
every single day.
There was a period of my life right after college where I would make myself a 3-egg omelet with spinach every morning, and I was trying to put on a ton of weight, and I got up to like 220, and I was fucking huge. No, but I was doing CrossFit 5 days a week.
That's crazy.
I was an
Did you
idiot.
get injured?
Total,
Yeah,
dude,
it like destroys
horribly
your body,
injured.
right?
Destroyed my elbow. Had a huge surgery.
Yeah,
But it was kind of fun, man. I could throw some weight around.
crazy.
Yeah. But that's stupid. All you need, I got my oats, high fiber, whatever.
11:30 salad.
11:30 salad, 11:30 to 12. Sometimes it stretches depending on the day. And then I know what the snack is at 3 if I have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
is
a
it?
rice cake with hummus and a turkey slice over it.
Sounds lovely.
Maybe a little drizzle of olive oil, some red pepper chili flakes on top. Dude, that's what you need.
It's great. It's great.
And then I'll go work out 5:36. This is the thing. My day doesn't close. My comfy pants cannot come on. The beer cannot be poured
Until you do this.
until I've worked out.
Right. That's a good.
It's as intrinsic to me as clearing my Gmail inbox.
Right. And dude, when I'm in that like healthy routine and like for the most part, dude, like until I had like this weird injury that I got having sex, by the way.
Talk to me. I like this.
I suddenly felt this like pain from the bottom of my leg all the way up to my shoulder.
Jesus.
It was almost like I pinched a nerve.
Sounds
Dude,
like
it was
nerve
crazy.
damage
like,
thing.
Like,
yeah.
so I went to the doctor, I got all these MRIs, all this shit, and there was nothing that they could point to that was wrong. So I've kind of like learned to, and it's still a thing that bothers me a little. It's gotten better with like physical therapy and shit. But so then I kind of like took a little time off from exercise, then pandemic, a little time off from exercise. So I'm not used to like not having working out in my day and as a schedule. You know what I mean? I'm not used to not having it. So I kind of sort of got used to it. And now I'm like used to having it in there again.
Mm-hmm.
And I will find that I can't, like, in good faith, enjoy myself as much when I don't, to your point. Like, if I don't have that workout day, if I end up in a situation where I am drinking or eating unhealthy, I'm just kind of like, this sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, man. It does.
You
know, the energy thing, dude. You start to realize and feel the difference in your energy.
And then, and another thing about Adderall, again, when you are living a healthy lifestyle, you just don't need it as much.
Yeah, but exactly.
You don't need it.
It's so good you're off that.
Yeah, it's great. Dude, I haven't taken it once the entire year. And it has been calling my name hard. Especially like...
That's unbelievable.
So this is another thing. I live with people, right?
Yep.
So there's stuff there that I don't intend to have, but it's there. So, you know, I might eat some shit I wouldn't normally eat that isn't great, whatever. So that is there. But then also, like, one of the people who I live with takes it for work, and I like see them in the zone doing work, haven't taken Adderall, and I'm like, fuck, I miss it. But like, I'm not touching it. I'm done. So
for life,
I don't know, maybe, because honestly, man, like,
what would take you back to Adderall?
Just like insurmountable anxiety and inability to focus.
Anxiety?
When I take it, it makes my anxiety go away.
Huh.
That has always been the big plus of it for me.
Interesting.
It's just kind of like, instead of like, fuck, I have to do this, I have to do that, you're just like, everything kind of just like falls into place.
And you tackle it.
And
you get just, into the work of it.
It feels good. It doesn't feel like a task. It doesn't feel like something you have to finish. You're like in the moment, working, focused. It feels fantastic. But, you know, you start chasing the dragon a little bit with it.
Sure do.
And it obviously becomes unhealthy. So I'm happily off it. Happy to be off it. I don't plan on to go back, but it requires many more steps in order to be able to function during the day.
Right.
Whereas normally I could drink and not sleep and wake up and take an Adderall and be fine. I cannot do that anymore. I need to sleep. I need to exercise. I need to eat healthy, or I'm not going to be able to have my brain in the right place.
Yeah. Damn, dude.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. Yeah, I'm sorry to, that's such, I mean, to become dependent on, and so many kids are. I mean, you know,
they get them on it early.
Props to you for being able to wean yourself off and still function.
And dude, I didn't wean. I cold turkey stopped, which they say is bad. And I'm not going to start making excuses for myself, but I did feel like something was like thrown off with my body and my metabolism when I stopped taking it. It speeds up your digestion. Like, and like you hear people being like, get off Adderall. It does this or this to your glands. And like, I've always kind of been like, whatever, but I did sort of feel like for a period of time, my body just felt like weird when I stopped. And it took a while to get over that.
My brother-in-law is such a big coffee drinker. He drinks it throughout the day.
Like, how much coffee are we talking?
It's almost like he'll never turn a cup down.
Mm-hmm.
And so he could have 12 cups a day. There's no difference to him between 12 cups, 15 cups, and 8 cups. But I think he has to have at least 3 to 4 cups. Now, granted, he's a surgeon. Some of these spine surgeries go on 16 hours.
Jesus, yeah, you need
and
to
he'll be there
alert.
till 4 a.m. and it's like, well, what, you know, you get it. But he is so affected by it that if he doesn't have his first cup of coffee by 10 a.m, he gets the headache.
That's crazy.
I once went cold turkey on coffee, not knowing about the withdrawal symptoms. And I went a week without a cup after drinking coffee, one cup a day for 5-6 years. It affected me so profoundly. Really? I had headaches. I was sullen. I was ornery. I couldn't, I had no energy. I was angry. It was as if
just like a grump.
Dude, it was really bad. And it didn't occur to me that like caffeine would be doing that to me.
It's pretty wild.
That's it. That's Oops the Podcast. Have a wonderful week, everybody.
And a happy breakup.
Yes.
If you got to go through it right now, it's the holidays. We here at Oops the Podcast, I think we recommend waiting until after the holidays are over.
Hells yeah.
Perhaps. That's true. It is late in the game, though. That's true. Just breaking up just to avoid having to buy gifts. It's fucked up. Well, anyway, Oops the Podcast. Follow us on our Instagram at Oops the Podcast, oopspodcast@gmail.com if you have stories about anything. Francis, what else? What else am I forgetting?
That's
YouTube
it, pal.
channel.
You got it, man. I feel
Awesome.
good. Rock and roll. See you soon, everybody.
Guys, if you like this video, we got plenty of other videos. Just click and subscribe and check them out. Thank you very much.
Oops.